Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 2. And specifically today, I'm going to talk about Lucas Sinclair. So, Lucas Sinclair, of course, is one of the foundational members of the party. So, the party is Mike Wheeler, Will Byers, Lucas Sinclair, and Dustin Henderson. All right? And I really, I thought Lucas Sinclair and the arc that his character went through in this particular season was just one of the best things that was accomplished in Stranger Things Season 2. By the way, just real quick, Stranger Things, 5 out of 5 star series. I absolutely loved it. Thought it was better than Season 1. There are major spoilers in this content for Stranger Things Season 1 and major spoilers for Stranger Things Season 2 in this content. All right. So Lucas, he's really, he's a pretty amazing character and really distinct. So I think that Lucas, he is, so one of the things in this particular season, we see Lucas's parents for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Sinclair. We also see Lucas's young sister, Erica, who, and she's introduced for the first time in this season, right? And Erica is constantly mocking, she, really does a lot mocking Lucas, calling him a nerd, taking his radio a lot, and getting on the line, code red. She's pretty brutal with him, but their relationship, it was really fun to meet Lucas's family, to see the home that he was in, to see his relationship with his sister, and it was really interesting. So also Lucas is, in this particular season, he is the one that wins out Max. And so as a paramour, essentially. Lucas and Max become, they dance together at the dance at the very, very end. And, they kind of draw them together throughout the season. Now, Dustin had been a competitive suitor for Max, right? And so there was some strain between. I think that was really interesting in the show. There was so much going on that there really wasn't time for beef to grow between Dustin and Lucas over pursuing Max in a romantic perspective, which is really kind of. Yeah, and I really think that if we go into season 3, that's going to be a major issue, is how that is addressed. Because I think that, that is a big wedge between Lucas and Dustin. And you can see that at the end, where, Lucas is with Max and Dustin's with no one. And that was one of the most heartbreaking moments of the show. All right, so I want to talk about Lucas a little bit more in depth. So, one, I think, Lucas, so my favorite character of the party really is Dustin Henderson. I think he has this curiosity and this drive and this enthusiasm that just makes him an exciting character, and he's really awesome, right? But I think that Lucas is the best of them. He is the strongest, most needed member of the party by far. And the reason why is he's a peacemaker. So all the rest of them, they all are strong. They all have courage. They all have the ability and the drive to go after the things they want. They all recognize value within their group, right? But no one works as hard as Lucas to make sure that everyone in the group has what they need, to make sure that he knows where everybody in the group is, to be there for any member of the group. Also, to consider all of his friends equally. Like, Lucas is more thoughtful and less selfish than anyone in the group. And I think he is the glue of that group. And he is really, just an amazing character. Now, one of the things that so I think Lucas is without a doubt, the very best of the party. Now, before, in Season 1, we really didn't know why, right? But in Season 2, there are so many amazing scenes in Season 2. But I do have a favorite scene in Season 2. And it was when Lucas was having breakfast with his family. Mr. and Mrs. Sinclair, okay? And Lucas's sister Erica is there. And at this point in the season, Max is mad at Lucas because Max doesn't think that Lucas is telling her the truth. She's angry, right? And so Lucas goes to, they're all eating, breakfast. And Lucas says to his dad, "What do you do when mom's angry with you?" Right? And he looks up, and he and the mom both look up because they know this is a serious, serious question, right? And he says, "Well, I determined what I did wrong, and then I apologize." And then Lucas says, "Well, what if mom is wrong?" And Mr. Sinclair says, "She's never wrong, son." All right, and it's my favorite scene in season 2 for a lot of reasons, and I kind of want to kind of break out why this scene is so important. Lucas is the best of them. He's the best of the party. He's the strongest. He's the one who's the least selfish. He's the one that keeps that group together when there are any type of outside influences come in that could shatter their friendship, right? And it's absolutely necessary because it means you have to put yourself second, right? Well, how did Lucas get there? How did Lucas get to the point where he has all this strength, where he has all this wisdom, right? And where he has this selflessness, right? Well, you're looking at it at that breakfast table. There are a team of people, right? There's 2 people who care for him deeply, who have put him first and have created a home for him where he has everything he needs, and he is, taken care of in every way, in both his emotional needs and his physical needs, and he thinks of them. And the reason why I know this is, I'm telling you right now, for a child to go to his father and say, "I have a very, very personal problem, and I need your wisdom." One, that child has to believe that person has wisdom, that person has a chance of giving them an answer that will be helpful to them, right? They also have to think that they're not going to be judged immediately, right? So Lucas trusts, those 2 people who care for him so deeply, Mr. and Mrs. Sinclair. And he believes that they have wisdom, that they have knowledge, and that they will give it to him, right? And that they will give him that knowledge and that wisdom without judging him, right? And he was right. He was right? But to me, just seeing that, I felt like the Duffer Brothers were acknowledging that children need 2 people who deeply care about them, right? They really do. And actually, I wouldn't go that far. I would say that if there is a team of people who are caring for a child in the uninterrupted, extensive, and loving way that Mr. and Mrs. Sinclair care for Lucas, I don't think they were saying that that's absolutely necessary. I think what they say is it makes you what Lucas is, which is the best, the least selfish, and the most wise and the most dependable, And so Lucas Sinclair in this season, he was just such a great character and really grew, like his story arc. He just grew so much in this season. So some of my favorite moments of Lucas was when they were looking for D'Artagnan. He enters this one room with like this big old karate kick, right? And there's a teacher in the room who he really scares her. And it was just such a great entry. I was like, I should enter every room I ever enter in, just like Lucas. It was really, really epic, right? The other thing is, it was just great seeing Lucas in his Ghostbusters costume, with his friends. It's really, I really like his bicycle too. Lucas's bicycle with the banana seat, and it was really great. He had a really different type of bike. He just was really fantastic. So, he had a lot of, and throughout, the other thing is, he's there throughout, right? Like, there's another perfect example is when the demo dogs, Dustin's like, hey, Dustin comes along with Steve and says, hey, we need your help taking down these demo dogs, right? Well, Lucas has already seen the Demogorgon, right? He knows how dangerous these things are. And he's like, yeah, of course, let's go ahead and let's take care of that. And he's the first one to sign up for anything crazy, and let's do this together, and it was really incredible. Like, I think the growth of Lucas as a character in this season was really incredible. So the other thing is, Lucas had to carry the weight of telling Max the truth, right? And the other thing is, he had to make that decision on his own, because one of the things we see in this season, and man, is this true, one of the things I really love about Stranger Things is they show the incredible challenge of friendships, right? Friendships are very delicate things. They really are. And they can fall apart for a lot of reasons. People can become angry with each other and, go their own separate ways because of anger. A lot of times people can just go away from each other by distancing. And the reason why is this world, especially our world, especially America, we have reached, there's a level of abundance in this country that allows people to go and pursue a lot of different things and pursue those things in incredible depth. Well, when two people start to pursue two different things in depth, you can really see some distance that opens up between those two groups, right? That definitely happens. Excuse me. So, and so you saw everybody going in different directions. And Lucas, and so because of that, Max was there, and he knew that, Max liked video games the same way they like video games. Max was new to school and needed friends, right? It was clear to anybody who was looking at Max that Max was struggling, that she was new in town, and that what brought her to this town was not something good. It was something that she was having to bear the weight of. She needed the friendship and the support of the party, right? And frankly, nobody was there for her. Not, Will wasn't there for her. Mike wasn't there for her. Dustin was interested in her as Dustin was interacting with her as a suitor, right? And Lucas, I think Lucas, right from the beginning, he considered himself a suitor to Max, right? But he realized, hey, this isn't the time for me to secure my romantic relationship with her. This is a person who's in need. This is a person who needs friendship and needs support in a new place, right? And because Lucas isn't worrying about supplying a million things for himself that should be supplied by the team of people who care for him, right? He's constantly looking outward. He knows he has everything he needs, and he stands on that stability and uses it as a vantage point to see things that other people can't see, right? And just seeing him, and he saw Max clearly. He saw that Max belonged in the party, right? And he went and he did the work of deciding on his own if he could tell her the truth. Then he told her the truth. He took her mockery and her doubt, right? And he didn't become angry. He persisted, right? That's the other thing, is Lucas is persistent, right? And I will tell you, I really, really struggle with that. I'm very, I'm a capable person. I drive toward goals like crazy, right? But when I hit a hard stop, it is so easy for me to stop and to try something different. And a lot of times I don't have the patience and the persistence that I see in the character of Lucas Sinclair. And that the party, they are so strong and so held together specifically because of Lucas and the bond. He is bonded to each one of them. And what he bonds them with is his care for each one of them. And it's so hard to do what he does, and the fact that he is doing it through season 1 and through season 2, and then he goes even beyond and extends that bubble of protection, that bubble of care, all the way out to Max. It's just, oh man, it's heartbreaking to see just how important Lucas is. He is without a doubt the best of them. And he did. He succeeded. That's the other thing, is he succeeded in bringing Max into the fold, right? And it was really cool. And I thought that was really awesome. And it was really incredible. So Lucas Sinclair, the absolute best of the party. I really enjoyed every moment he was on screen in season 2 of Stranger Things. And man, if season 2 Stranger Things, I'm just so happy with how this whole thing turned out. I'm just shocked at what the Duffer Brothers were able to do. It is truly incredible. And so it'll really be interesting to see how things go forward. Lucas Sinclair, take care, everybody.